Today we're playing in the largest Warhammer 3 campaign yet. 8 players clash to see who is the one true king of Karak 8 peaks. Will it be greenskins or rats? Men or elves? It could even be vampires or dwarves, just as long as they don't come up short.
There can only be one winner in this massive, world-spanning free-for-all, and the chaos started with all 8 of us scrambling to make the mad dash to 8 peaks. Me, Mac, started in the deserts of Araby, where apparently we fight in every video. And you might be thinking that me starting all the way down here means I'd be nice and safe by myself. But you'd be wrong, because I start right next to Yoinkers.
Hey, Mac, we're awfully close, aren't we?
I kind of wanted to declare war on Yoinkers because it'd give me control of this whole area, but Yoinkers is also a good player, and I'd rather not die before the game even gets started. So we signed a non-aggression pact, and I would never, ever betray him ever. At the same time, though, things were rapidly unfolding in the east. Okeanos, Deershark, and Pigmen were all smashed together like a Chinese family in Kowloon, running tensions through the roof.
Oh, you're declaring war on me, aren't you?
No, I'm just scouting.
That's
I'm
like
just
8
scouting.
people,
I'm
8
just
people.
scouting. If you got any offers, my ears are open.
Offers for what?
I don't know. Maybe some money. How much money you got? Maybe I'm
Not
extorting.
enough to pay
Is
you
this
off.
extortion?
But despite being crammed into the mosh pit, Deer took his first opportunity and besieged 8 peaks on turn 8. Deer didn't actually take 8 peaks yet, but if he holds it for just 8 short turns, he wins. So all eyes turned on Deershark.
You're just too close to Karak 8 peaks. You flew too close to the sun, and now Emmerich is here to blast you down.
And just like that, the war was on. Yoinkers and I decided to keep the peace with the game at risk, and both of us set off towards the front line.
Meanwhile, us factions up north started the game by quickly growing our empires while maintaining a cautious peace with each other. Playing as the golden god Balthazar Gelt, I wasted no time conquering my immediate neighbor as fast as possible. However, the rest of the empire factions don't take too kindly to this apparently, and we started a civil war before turn 10. So I found myself having to put down some restore order to my new empire.
Your new empire?
And so because I was going to be tied up for a while, Cheth and I decided to sign a non-aggression pact so neither of us had to waste time protecting our borders. It was around this time Deer was sieging 8 peaks and things were really heating up. Not having to worry about me invading him from the north, Cheth started moving his forces towards 8 peaks after he took all of his main mountain settlements. Scott was similarly expanding in the eastern mountains, but at a much faster rate because Scarsnake's green tide doesn't take too long to start washing over the land. And he was directing a lot of that expansion towards the peaks as well. It wouldn't be long before the new challengers came to join the fun.
Back on the front, Pigmen had charged Imric through Blightwater Pass and was intent on destroying all of Clan Moors, but Deer had secretly stopped his siege of 8 peaks and instead used that army to ambush Pigmen. And it was a bloody fight, but even with the ambush, Deer couldn't do much and Pigmen captured Crooked Fang Fort, which meant that Deer went from 5 cities to 4, but he was undeterred because he had warp fire throwers. But it actually doesn't matter at all because Imric's entire army has fire resist.
I'm still down to spare you if you want to get spared, by the way.
Nah, me and Oki are fighting to the end. Imric. All he needed was Imric.
But all was not lost for Deer because he is Skaven after all, and just like a true Skaven, he's well versed in the art of manipulation.
Why are you declaring war on me?
You're slaughtering him.
I'm gonna be crying ears while I destroy your last settlement.
Oki launched his lightning attack and took the entirety of Pigmen's starting province.
The Plain of Bones is now Skaven land.
Beset on 2 sides, Pigmen continued his march into the city of Kradtamen in the middle of Deer's ruined empire. At this point, I realized that Pigmen was becoming unstoppable, and it was only going to get better. I felt like I had no choice, and I joined Oki and Deer's alliance against Imric. Unfortunately, it'll be quite a few turns before my armies actually get to the front line, so Deer and Oki will have to hold for now. Back at Kradtamen, Deer, Oki, and I took control of Deer's army and agreed to ignore Imric. Our goal was to target his Sun Dragon and get some picks where we could.
I was gonna say, if you do anything this battle, kill that Sun Dragon.
And our battle line smashed into the elf column, all while being constantly harassed by dragons and magic. Our troops fought hard, but Pigmen had a part-time job at Orkin and a flamethrower on hand, so didn't go too well for our rat boys. With that defeat, Kradtamen had fallen, and Deer's forces were in complete disarray. And on the same turn, Pigmen had captured Karaka's goal and took yet another settlement from Deer's dwindling empire, leaving Deer officially eliminated.
Yes.
Clan Wars is dead.
Yes.
GG, Deer.
Let me go
Did you,
touch grass.
did you have fun, buddy?
No. That was a miserable campaign.
With the dust settled and Deer dead, I realized just how easily Pigmen wiped out Deer, squashed him like a bug, and brought my crippling PTSD boiling back.
Where's Imric?
It's like, here's somewhere.
Where's Imric?
I was not about to let that happen again, so I called for aid. Yoinker and Cheth answered and brought the alliance to a 4v1. Although we declared war on him, Pigman was only concerned with killing Oki
I'm just gonna be line up with Oki, and if I lose, I lose. But Oki is going down.
and prepared to move his armies back east while Oki assembled a new line of ambushes.
I'm an ambush. I'm not gonna move.
Ambush is cringe. Come on, just fight.
Yeah, Imric is cringe.
Meanwhile, Cheth's main army had just arrived at 8 Peaks. Our plan was for Cheth, Yoinker, and me to rally our forces and push on Imric together. But in a stunning move, Cheth seized the opportunity and took the city for himself.
Belagar took 8 peaks, so abandon it or we're killing you.
You know what? I'm keeping it.
Cheth was a lying bastard and betrayed us.
Manfred and Skarsnik go to 8 peaks.
Assault 8 peaks is a go.
Yep.
With Cheth taking 8 peaks and threatening an end to this campaign, Mac suggested I take the fight to him while he offered military aid in the event that Scott, the growing green menace, decides to turn hostile. This was a pretty good deal, all things considered. So, during the chaos, I secretly broke my non-aggression pact with Cheth and sent most of my armies down south to take Belagar's main settlements by surprise and cripple his economy. It didn't take long to be outside of his capital with overwhelming force before Cheth had any hope to muster strength in response.
Alright, I'm sorry, Chef.
He was preparing for this.
And being behind walls wouldn't help him much either because Gelt now rode a flying Pegasus, which is a
Transporter of gods! The Golden God!
Ooh, that looks like a spicy sewing doom.
Yeah, that's why I'm prioritizing it now.
and he made quick work of the garrison. We also took another settlement on the exact same turn, so this offensive couldn't have started any better. However, back on the front lines, multiple armies were converging around 8 Peaks, and instead of fighting Imric, they now aimed to kick Belagar out of his ancestral home. With superior numbers, Yoinker and Scott felt that they could handle Cheth by themselves and chose to make their attack on the city immediately.
This is going to be a rough battle, but I am taking it. I am not giving up without a fight.
The battle started with Manfred flying up to harass Dwarven heroes, as Scott's horde slowly entered the battlefield. Emphasis on slowly.
Oh wow, there's an interesting bug going on.
Yeah, I don't know how to get them over. How the fuck? They're all stuck.
But eventually, some units made it to the fight.
Scott's got Night Goblin Fanatics. I could literally just walk those up and just obliterate
Oh my god,
his
he's
front
got
line.
that.
That's all ancestral heroes dead.
But even with Belagar himself dying in battle, they just couldn't win in time. And the dwarves held the line as the battle time ticked to 0. And although that battle was technically a draw,
Alright, we call it a draw.
and the dwarves still had a small force garrisoning the peaks, Yoinker and Scott were gearing up to attack yet again. So Cheth abandoned his defense and ran east, past Pigman's armies who were sitting in the bleachers watching the battles go down. They were done watching, however, and advanced on a severely weakened Scott and Yoinker, where the elves then proceeded to wipe out the vampires and send the greenskins scurrying back into the mountains, licking their wounds. But Mac and Oki were very close to 8 Peaks at this point, so instead of holding the city against a combined assault, Pigman left the settlement to focus his forces on the fight against Oki's rats and the campaign to regain his home territories. So at the end of it all, 8 Peaks was left in ruins, Pigman and Oki remained at war, and Yoinker and Scott lost most of their armies. But Cheth was usurped from the peaks, and the Dwarven forces in the area were destroyed. And remember, all the while, I was assaulting the main Dwarven settlements back up north. So yeah, this was definitely Cheth's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. He did manage to recruit some new armies and invade my empire in the east, and sure, he would do a little bit of damage, but Gelt was coming. And Cheth's death was inevitable. Inevitable, that is, until...
I've taken 8 peaks.
Oh my gosh, he wants to win.
Oh, okay, Regis, how about we do peace now?
Might have to take you up on that. Nice job, Mac. God, you just keep f***ing things up.
Mac decided to take 8 Peaks for himself, and in doing so, he broke all of his alliances and made himself public enemy number 1. So instead of taking the time to finish Cheth off, we managed to broker a nice peace deal where I wouldn't kill him, and in return, he offered me some modest damage reparations. And with that, I was freed up to send a lot of my forces down to 8 Peaks and confront Mac. With his victory only a few turns away, Scott, Yoinkers, and I were all brought together under one common purpose.
I propose you a military alliance, Scott. Anti-Mac now, Scott.
He's done.
An all-out attack on Mac. Gelt arrived at the peaks alongside Scott and his greenskins, and with only 2 turns to spare, we advanced.
I'll abandon 8 peaks if you just attack Scott.
Nah.
You don't understand how alright, I'm fucking dead.
Scott, we're not backstabbers like him. That's the thing he doesn't understand. We're not like him, Scott. We're better. You signed your own death warrant. Like, maybe you'll have a settlement left so you can just stay in the game for recording purposes, but you're dead.
But because of our overwhelming force, Mac made the smartest decision he could and fled from the peaks.
Holding on to 8 peaks would have me at the pearly gates a whole lot sooner than I'd like. I mean, look at all that shit. I wasn't about to become the real Joan of Arc. My goal was to retreat through the mountains and reunite with the rest of my forces back home because my imperialistic French brain was screaming one word: développer. So while Yoinker had moved all of his armies north and left his crypts completely barren, I had but one option: invade.
I'm sorry, Yoinker.
Damn.
What's going on?
The alliance is falling apart.
The alliance is actually due.
Yoinker is in a bad position right now, to be honest. It's a pretty smart play from the Bretonnian player.
Yoinker's western cities fell before he even knew what hit him, and only had a mere 3 cities left, just a few turns into the war.
Se faire frapper au visage.
Defeating Yoinker was going to be super easy, with absolutely no hiccups at all. In the east, the Oki-Pigman War continued to rage. Oki converged his armies and trapped all of Pigman's forces. Although Pigman had lost most of his settlements and nearly all of his money,
Did you not see me literally get attrition last round for being so broke?
he still had Imric. So Oki gambled on one final massive attack. Oki's plan was to hit Pigman's archers from 2 sides and eliminate them before they could even join the fight, while Pigman's plan was to use his dragons to hunt down Oki's lords and cut the head from the snake. Chaos was everywhere and the adrenaline was pumping.
Burning head, burning.
Pigman managed to reform his spear line and protect some of his archers, but his dragons were being relentlessly attacked by the endless swarms of night runners.
Imric though might be able to kill my forces. He's got dragons as well and his mage. I'm not calling it until it's actually done. I think he could still beat me.
Tretch is shockingly not taking much damage. Imric is killable. He's at half health. Okay, you killed the mage. That's big.
Well, did she die or did she?
Yeah,
yeah, they have to be grounded. Okay, good. She died. Great. Okay, I wasn't sure if she got off or not. Good.
Yeah, he's pissed.
Good.
Why?
Ambush is broken. Ambush is broken. Well.
Imric's broken. Imric's broken.
Oh my god, he's finally dead.
It takes so much. You have no idea.
Oki's gamble had paid off, and the war was finally over.
Fatality.
GG there for the campaign. I'm tapping out.
I can't believe it, to be honest. I thought he was gonna be unkillable.
Yeah, again, you guys are like the biggest Imric meat writers I've ever met. Like, oh my gosh, you guys must be scarred or something. Like, yes, he's strong. Oh my god.
We are.
Pigman put up a great fight, killed deer and burned half the world, but he was finally put 6 feet under. Well played, Pig. But it did not take long for everyone to be back at their throats.
This is happening. Imric's dying. Don't forget who the true enemy is, okay?
We'll see, Scott. We'll see. Meanwhile, at 8 Peaks, Riggs was still busy chasing down Rapance.
Dead. He's dead. I want him dead. I want his family dead. He's done. He's done.
His quest to stake the heretic witch put him at least 100 leagues from his closest settlement. But Riggs had the power of God and eminent domain on his side and condemned Oki's city of Karak. But this move pushed Oki into an alliance with me, and together we formed a united front against the Golden God.
I kind of want to just go for the attack, destroy his forces at Karak.
I want to catch Gad up first, and then we can go for the attack at Karak.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. I back off.
And then I go in for the attack. Yeah. Okay, go in. 3, 2, 1 now. Attack.
There we go.
Well, that was huge for us.
That's not fair. That's not fair, dude. No way.
Gelt's dead. However, while we were busy fighting Riggs, the Green Tide had amassed near 8 Peaks. It was definitely a little unnerving having so many greenskin armies on the edge of victory, but at least for now, it looked like Scott was not going to take the city. During this chaos, all the way back home, Yoinker had been carving a path through my cities and escaped north while I captured his last few settlements. So, good news, whole lot more territory under my control. Bad news, Yoinker was still not dead.
Does bro not realize my stack has 2 Mortis engines in it now?
I am not afraid.
2 Mortis engines, 2 Vargals, Black Knights of Barding, Grey.
Hold that thought. Scott took 8 Peaks, gambling on winning the game here and now. And there was no better time. 8 full Wa armies posted up in the shadow of the peaks. This could be it.
Everybody was now coming to attack the Greenskins at 8 Peaks because Scott was strength rank 1 and dug in around the city. Cheth even started rapidly taking Scott's other settlements, but he still wouldn't budge from the peaks and would need to be removed forcefully.
Here we go, let's do this.
And look at Scott's just, his army's weak, but he's taking it like a man. He's standing his ground. got 506 kills.
Oh my god, Scotty, I'm so sorry, buddy.
So yeah, we massacred a lot of greenskins right there and immediately attacked again. But this time, well over 100 different units would be storming the battlefield, and we would have a much tougher time against fresh waves of greenskins smashing into our already weakened front line. A line of rats, men, and even the French all fighting and dying side by side as the horde ruthlessly advanced. We tactfully retreated while continuing to grind away at the onslaught. Bring it down! Bring it down! Bring it down! Eventually, even their leader, Azag the Slaughterer, was brought low beneath a Bretonnian griffin and, well, slaughtered. And although it was quite costly, that was another massive win in the ongoing siege of 8 Peaks.
But Yoinka, you see, it's over for me, right? You see that, right, Yoinka?
However, Scott still had all of this force garrisoning the peaks, but third time's the charm, right? And for this attack, we even had Yoinker come join the fun. Go ahead and make the attack, Yoinker.
I'm not in. Balthazar's not in. Should run away and then siege.
Okay, cringe.
Do you have the range to reach the city again?
So far. Oh my god. Oh, what the fuck? What?
Oh my god, he walked right.
That's ridiculous.
Walked right into Wurzag. Oh my god.
Alright, well, it looks like Yoinker won't be joining the fun, but no matter. Mac, Oki, and I started the assault against Scott, and we were gonna finish it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be an absolutely massive one. Oh god, the juice. Another volley. Oh my god, look at it.
Oh my god. This is not. Oh my god.
273 kills already.
Look at this. Look at this cavalry doing literally nothing. Mac is trolling you guys.
Wait, Repulse has 0 kills.
That is just so ridiculous.
Alright, now that we killed Apex, Scott, have you thought about your actions? Want to kill back again?
Yeah.
He wants to win. I know it. I know it. It's in his blood to betray. It's in his blood.
Yeah, it is suspicious. I totally agree.
Yoinker, rejoin my side, buddy. There's
no.
No, my god. He's the last person who would fucking join you.
Dear viewers, you could take the player out of the rat, but you can never take the rat out of the player, as Mac purposefully sat back to avoid damage of that battle, and then he didn't reinforce Oki and I in our final few battles against Scott.
Look at Mac actually doing nothing though. He's on his full health because he did nothing last time.
For real.
I agree. It's sus. It's definitely suspect.
Which, by the way, went pretty well.
Oh, Scott, I'm sorry.
And after all of that, Scott was decimated and his chances at winning the game were finally snuffed out. But then, in a move shocking to absolutely no one,
Mac's declaring war on me, so you either join Team Mac or join Team Riggs.
Mac declared war.
I didn't realize that Oki was allied with Riggs.
Yeah, you did it.
Said this.
Yeah, you said it. He just made the biggest blunder. He showed us all his true colors, which is a betraying little backstabbing bitch, and he just signed his own death warrant in one fell stroke.
Trying to salvage the situation, Mac attempted to retreat Rapunz back home, but even though Oki and I were damaged from battle, we were not about to let that happen. And we trapped Rapunz in a settlement. Either she was gonna die here and now, or we were.
My army might get wiped, to be honest, but we just kind of just have to deal with it, I think. I would get just all the units away from her that are not single and easy, because I have the Luminarch and stuff, and Steam Pick, because I start shooting her as well. Oh, oh!
That was
yikes.
Did you find transportation or not yet?
Oh! Shot down, dead.
Rapunz the Lioness was dead, and all of the craziness around 8 Peaks was finally over, with each player taking massive losses. And as a result, everyone decided to pull back to their respective lands to regroup, rearm, and prepare for the final stretch. Because we haven't mentioned it yet, but holding the peaks for 8 turns isn't the only way to win this game. At the very start of turn 88, whoever finds themselves in control of the city will be declared the winner. But as I tried preparing for this by consolidating in my empire, Mac was on a mission for revenge and wouldn't be leaving me to my own devices.
I didn't know there was Demigriffinites with halberds in that army.
Oh, Franciscus, Leetard, he's the
He began pushing up the western coast, threatening an invasion into my nation. And all the while, our greenskin player Scott, you know, the one who went from strength rank 1 to almost being completely annihilated, well, he was on his own mission to venture far into the east to defeat and confederate Gringor Ironhide, the new strongest faction in this game. Which, yeah, he fucking did. Scott is strength rank 1 again.
Confederation, baby.
Wow, there it is.
Oh, look at the land. Oh, it's so much land. God.
In the west, I pushed Riggs back across the front, but Riggs endured my attack and regrouped his forces around Balthazar, stopping my advance. Instead of taking the fight, I chose to avoid the casualties and continued my crusade against the vampiric scourge and seized all of Yoinker's territory yet again, while Yoinker managed to embark across the channel. At the same time, Cheth and I brokered a peace and resumed trade. Cheth wasn't joining my side. He just wanted to be neutral in this war, but the anti-Mac Alliance viewed this as a grave treachery and declared war on Cheth.
It appears the entire anti-Mac Alliance has turned.
You turned on the Alliance, is what you mean. You made peace with it.
Yeah, you broke the Alliance. You made peace with Mac.
Riggs managed to trap one of Cheth's armies at Matorka and destroyed it, and then sailed across the channel and captured my stone mine tower. I quickly tried to trap Gelt in the city, but Riggs moved back into the water and avoided my attack. But his trickery sent Gelt straight into the axe of Belegar.
The auto-resolve does still favor him, but I'm confident. It's all about Belegar and the ghosts.
Both sides opened the fight by targeting each other's artillery, but Riggs won this exchange and gained total range superiority, forcing the dwarves to endure the Imperial barrage. Meanwhile, Gelt rained down spell after spell on the dwarven forces, and things looked bleak for Cheth. After what felt like an eternity of bombardment, Riggs advanced his forces and charged. Dwarf warriors fought valiantly to hold the line, but eventually they were driven from the field.
Your runesmith is
Everything is under control.
You're not going to win this battle.
At the end of it all, only Belegar remained, the last dwarf standing. I thought for sure the battle was over, but Belegar refused to die. In fact, he took no damage at all. He was a one dwarf army. After over an hour of battle, Riggs accepted his defeat and Cheth had won against all odds.
Yeah, it was a great battle. I feel like we should have won.
Both armies are almost completely wiped.
Gelt dying definitely hurt Riggs. There wasn't much time left in this game, and each turn was precious. So with that in mind, I sent Rapance on a pilgrimage around the Black Mountains and attacked the city of Grenstadt. At first, I thought I was screwed. Riggs had all anti-large halberdiers and the forest to defend him. But then I remembered I had magical flying horsemen and God's blessing on my side. We fought a few more battles and quite a few more Imperial Widows were made, but continuing this fight would only weaken us both. So at the end of this campaign, only 13 turns away, I called off the attack.
7 full turns till basically the game is over.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let's go, baby. Mac's f***ing dead.
The race had begun, and the entire world converged for this final, insane coronation to see who is the rightful king or queen of 8 Peaks. To the east, Scott had summoned hordes of greenskins, now outfitted with incredibly powerful black orcs.
Oh, yeah, look at all those black orcs with the scrap upgrades. Too bad they're all gonna die.
And packed between the greenskin tide was Oki, outnumbered nearly 3-1. In the west, Cheth had taken up positions outside the peaks, while I had Rapance and her lieutenants standing in the way of the Imperial forces. This was a true Mexican standoff. Who would be the first to make a move? And that person would be Cheth. He broke the standoff and occupied the city before the rest of the hordes could arrive.
I've taken 8 peaks, just so everyone knows.
Holy shit. Here we go, baby.
But I wasn't going to let that happen. I still had time as well. So I surrounded the city with all my forces and attacked the mountain. Just like last time, Cheth arrayed his forces in a massive dwarven clump. How would I get through this ball of stubborn steel? Well, I'll tell you.
Lesson learned, buddy. Lesson learned.
But even though Mac just gained control of the peaks, he considered Yoinker's existence as an affront to God and sallied out with one of his best armies to put Manfred down once and for all. And the unfortunate end to our vampire horde faction seemed likely.
This is the final turn. This is it.
Oh my god, no, my cap's f***ing up his. Let's go. Wait, sandwich him here. Sandwich these yeoman archers. Dude, use Manfred to kill his hero.
This is like such a huge loss though, Mac, because it's such a good army of his.
Yeah, we took some casualties, but overall he took more.
Mac's gamble backfired as Yoinker just continued to endure.
I will never die.
But consumed by his desire for the eradication of all vampires, Mac doubled down and chased Yoinker right into the arms of Balthazar Gelt.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
My god. The destruction.
Oh, he's going for my lord, I think.
Okay, well in that case, he's inside the great swords. That's not a bad place to fight him.
Oh, his other army's in. My other army's coming in. Oh my god, melee
okay.
defense minus 24 and melee. Oh my god, melee defense minus 48 right now.
I've caught out the life wizard.
Army losses, army losses.
I feel like the result of this battle was very clear.
This is a great win.
With a fantastic win like that, I was on top of the world, and using this momentum, I advanced an army right up into Rapance's ambush. And as Mac and I beat up on each other...
No way, he was
in the camp. What do you mean you got me anyways? No, he wasn't in the camp. He wasn't in the camp.
Oki ambushed Scott for, I think, the 100th time, but we eventually pushed Mac back to the peaks, and Rapunzel made her stand against a combined force of dwarves, men, and the one she hunted all game, Manfred.
Yes. All right, Gelt's almost in 8 seconds. Gelt's in 8 seconds. Can Manfred get some Wind of Death soon on his clumps? He's a huge clump on the left.
I can do a fat curse of yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my final transmutation as well.
We send Manfred down to Rapunzel. Do some buffs and have Gelt cast on your transmutation.
Oh, hey, Rapunzel's open. I'm gonna send my 2 heroes after. How do you try to get the entire lobby to kill me?
No, I'm making sure that you're dying. I'm military allying with Scott this turn, and I am using every ounce of knowledge to make sure you die.
I just know this neighborhood will be better if that Pegasus is put down.
I've been gangbanged.
Yeah, you made your bed. You're sleeping in it. So I just don't understand the problem.
And that was the final stand of Rapunzel the Lioness.
Yeah! Oh, better luck next time, buddy.
Mac was officially eliminated. And with my nemesis and biggest threat dead, all I had to do now was convince the rest of the lobby to galvanize against Big Bad Scott with his hordes and hordes of greenskins. And I had this game in the bag, because that's exactly what I did.
Riggs has 8 peaks, Jeff. I'm just saying.
No, we already talked about it. I'm bringing all my forces to the front lines. Scott, you are still the biggest threat here.
Or so I thought, because as Scott advanced, my Dwarven, Vampire, and Rat allies abandoned me.
Okay, because Oki pressed decline, I'm doing decline as well.
Sure.
And right after I defeated the bulk of Scott's power, my former allies decided that it was my time to go.
No.
No, Yoinker, no.
Wait.
But at least I went down swinging.
Actually, Riggs, your archers are actually doing a pretty good amount of damage to that terror, guys. Holy shit! Gelt's on the field. Oh, Riggs, if you're gonna die, dude, f Cheth up then, because he's just trying to sit in the back.
Oh, yeah, get those big siege artillery. Oh, lovely. Lovely.
Wow, Cheth ran his units off the field.
Yeah, what a scumbag. Look at them.
Look at them all leave.
Yeah,
Look at your allies flee there, Yoink. This is who you sided with.
They're all f***ing each other over.
Look at what Yoinkers just did. He just wins of death.
Oh my god.
He wind of death Cheth's units. His allies' units. And they're all just fucking killing each other. Allies mid-battle. Oh, that was honestly, I'm actually really happy with how I ended.
However, Gelt was eventually struck down alongside the rest of his men, but as they say, all gold things must come to an end.
That was the biggest betrayal I've ever seen.
Me and Riggs are dead. KO'd. More Warpstone is dead.
Less Warpstone.
Immediately after that battle, Manfred now set his sights on the dwarves.
Why would you do this?
Cheth and his battered Dwarven army stood alone for one final glorious battle outside the walls of their ancient city. But as the battle started and the dwarves began to fight against all odds, no, I'm joking, that battle went sadly as expected. And that was the end of yet another player. Cheth was eliminated.
Join the club, Cheth.
But when the dust settled, Oki detached a valuable hero from his army. Strange move at the end like this.
Okay, did you mean to move that hero out?
Yeah.
But then Yoinker made a revelation.
I've got no movement left.
He was out of movement and couldn't take the peaks in time. So although he had this amazing army, he was effectively eliminated. And with this development, Scott decided to strike while the iron's hot and finally took the peaks for himself, officially eliminating yours truly. And at the end of it all, the only other remaining contender for the peaks was Tretch Craventail. And Yoinker decided that if he couldn't win, he would join Oki in trying to take down the Green Tide.
Manfred's here.
Manfred's actually here.
What? Let's fucking do it, okay?
Let's do it.
Scott still had the mighty Grimgore Ironhide and a lot of orcs, so even with Manfred coming to assist, Tretch would have no easy time taking the peaks and winning this game. But wait, remember when Oki took out a hero from his army earlier? Well, that was to use an ability to block Manfred from having enough movement range to attack the city. That means Oki prevented Yoinker from winning this game without telling him, and then used him in his final assault against the city. This is multiplayer Total War.
Go. Scott slammed his fearsome Black Orcs into the fray, while Oki tried to let Yoinker soak up most of the damage. But Scott was able to break through Oki's lines and reach his artillery and cripple his forces. As the fighting continued, Scott's Orcs slowly ground down Oki's Rats. Something had to be done, and seeing this development, Oki made a quick decision to focus Scott's general and rout him from the field, leaving the Greenskins leaderless. This caused a huge change in the balance of power, and this time, that change went in Oki's favor. As the battle progressed, Scott eventually was driven from the field under the constant attack of vampires and rats. Oki had won.
Kill him.
Oki win. Yeah, Oki! Let's go, baby!
Because of Manfred. Oh,
It was a last alliance of Skaven and vampires.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to help us bring attention to Total War multiplayer. Link in the description to join the Discord and find multiplayer games of your own. And special thanks to this video's sponsor, our Patreons. For the Warlords, Doshav, Drowning, Dead Undead Guy, Mr. Napoleon 01, Voltage 483, and Laante, you guys are amazing. And the Clan Rats, Degenerate McChicken, Ivanov Yanislav, Cyron, Tom Ass, Madge Smelker, Grand Parzival, True Irish Luck, and Rogue 1101. Thank you all so much. Link in the description to join our Patreon and help make these vids possible, and we'll see you next time with some more Warpstone.